Hello out there, Indie Adam here, and I'm with.
Joe Donnell.
So I saw your film.
Mother Grimm, where I got to be a witch in this like really cool, creepy black and white film with some of my closest friends. And I got involved with that because I actually knew the DP, the director of photography for that film. And she was like, I need some witchy people. Like, I feel like you
Need
can,
some
like,
witchy people.
fit this vibe. I'm like, heck yes, I'm in. I love this. She was actually in Boston, and the film itself was done in Rhode Island. So we just kind of road tripped. Amelia Favada and I.
I know Amelia, yeah.
She was also a fellow witch.
Yeah.
With me, and then also my friend Isabel Deschamps was the lead in that film.
Yeah.
So it was a really fun weekend. We were just kind of got to hang out. Unfortunately, the set that they created was actually incredible. Like they made like trees out of PVC pipes and like the foam stuff, and like so we actually got to be inside because it was freezing out. So we're just like, we do not want to have a witch seance outside and like no clothing.
Yeah.
So
that'd really be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You just had a film premiere. You want to talk about that? It's one of the good ones.
Yes.
And I had the privilege to speak to a couple of the folks on that project, and they had something really great to say about you.
And Joe Donnell, who plays our bartender, Joe, and really just the people that we got from Buffalo, they knocked it out of the park, man.
I'm curious to know, what was it like working on that project?
Oh my gosh, it was wonderful. Yeah, it was very quick actually. So all of my scenes were done in one day. But like they got in touch, they were like, okay, like here's what we're thinking for your character, like send over some costume pieces. I like sent over like ideas, like, okay, great, bring this, this, and this. I got there, we had like a really great food thanks to the Polios, and like 90% of the crew was from Buffalo, so like I knew all of them. I was like, oh, I'm just hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, yeah. You seem very natural at the part. Have you ever bartended before?
I have.
Have you? Oh, so a little bit of inspiration there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was working as a hostess, and they had like some bar shifts, so I just kind of picked up the tricks from that. So I was like, oh, okay, like they didn't really give me any like specific like things to do. They're just like, just do bar things. I'm like, okay, I know what bar things are. Like, I'm gonna get this like bottle ready. I'm gonna clean the countertop. So yeah.
Did you work with Bill Kennedy at all, or did you just? I mean, I know he was in the scene with you.
Oh yeah, no, we just.
How was working with Bill?
Oh my god, he was a pleasure. Absolutely.
He's an interesting fellow. I've known him for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make a film with Bill, but never had the opportunity.
Yeah, no, honestly, he definitely stole the scenes.
Now, you are aware? Obviously, there's like 3 books, I believe, is what the story behind this is.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, do you know if any of the other ones are being adapted at all?
Yes, they are.
They are being adapted. Same people returning, or have you been even approached at all, or what?
Well, I was like, hey, like this is an established character of the world.
Well, yeah.
They're gonna have to come back to the bar. Like,
they're gonna get thirsty.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Like part of the community.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know who's involved in that second book, but like I do know that they are currently working on the adaptation.
Did you meet the writer at the I think the Q&A?
I definitely like shook his hand, was like, hi.
Hi.
But like
I'm Joe.
That's the sense of like meeting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you do writing, directing. I've had the privilege of seeing you sing. I have to say that. But what do you like more? Do you like writing, directing, acting?
Oh, definitely.
What is your
acting.
thing?
Yeah, no, my love is in acting. That's what I want to pursue.
Yeah. Directing is not for everybody. Not even like for me at this point. I'm to that point where I'm just like not even for me anymore.
Yeah.
Tiring.
I mean, there's power in directing because then you can really like create the story that you want to. Like as a writer, like you write the story, but like if you're gonna have someone else direct it, it becomes theirs at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got an editor, so if the same editor is not the same,
absolutely.
that's somebody
else.
else.
Which is actually why I edited my films, because I was like, I can't let anyone else touch this. I want to tell my story.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this: when you're like looking for a role, or not even looking, when a role is brought to you, what draws you to it? Like, what are you interested in the most in a character?
Yeah, no, I mean, I really do like more like complex characters. I've recently been playing like these characters that they're not quite what they seem. So like these woman with kind of like more like of a dark past or even like a little bit evil. So that's kind of been a little bit more fun for me to play those type of roles. There's a lot more complexity, a little bit of intelligence that go into them. But I mean, like I enjoy kind of playing any role that is different for myself.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like if I see something, I'm like, oh, hey, that's me. Like I wanna just play myself too. So I'm pretty open to like a lot of things. I think more than anything, it comes down to the story. I'm just like, looking at what is this film about, and if it's something that I want to, if it's a world that I want to inhabit.
Yeah, that's a good way to approach it. Now, is there like a role that you've been something that you wanted and haven't done yet?
I would love to do something action. Actually, honestly,
Action?
yeah, like I want to go and like do some stunts. I have some experience in martial arts and gymnastics, so like I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
let me do something fun.
Yeah. Now, when did you, when in your life did you find that you wanted to like pursue this type of work?
I think I always wanted to. I just never really had the opportunity. Like I would always like audition for things like in elementary school. Like I would try to get like the roles in the plays in middle school. Like
So you did do like theater
I didn't know like
in high school?
no, because in high school I played sports and I was part of like a bunch of clubs. So like it was like you can play sports or you can be a theater person. I was like, I'd rather play sports. So that's
What'd you play?
I did tennis and track in high school.
Yeah, track is not for me. I tried track one time. I couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
well, who wants to run around in circles all
Yeah,
day?
who runs for fun? Like, come on.
Absolutely.
But what type of movies do you like?
And you know what, honestly, I watch a lot of rom-coms. My guilty pleasure is Hallmark movies.
Okay.
So
Is that because you're in them now?
I haven't been in.
You haven't been in a
no,
Hallmark?
Actually, no, I haven't. Yeah, I keep auditioning, but it just
Hallmark.
Look at the smile.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say Hallmark. What are you doing here? Joe Donnell here, yo. Is there anything like you think throughout your time of doing film? Did you go to school? I mean, did you go to school for art?
No.
Did you go to college at all?
Yes.
Did you? It was something totally different, right?
Completely different.
Okay, so that yeah. All right, so okay. I'm curious to know you don't have to tell me what it was, but how does that relate to where you're at now?
Well, actually, ironically, it was when I went to grad school for it was mechanical engineering. My undergrad is in chemical engineering. Yeah.
Wow.
It was ironically at grad school, being a poor college student, they have call outs where they're like, hey, we'll give you free food if you come check out like the programs that we have to offer. And the theater school was having one of these call outs and I got some free pizza and they're like, hey, we have an audition, like you don't even have to memorize anything, just grab a monologue off the board, come into the audition and like try it out. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can try this out. And so I went to this audition and I did like kind of like rehearse it a little bit and read my monologue, and when I was done, the directors look at me and the one specifically that was casting was just like, looks at my file, looks back at me, he's like, okay, I'm not gonna cast you or anything because you're going for engineering and you're not gonna have time for this.
Yeah.
However, I want to encourage you to continue to pursue acting, maybe just do something in the community. And I was like, wait a second, I'm not bad at this?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
is this something I can do? And that, it was really the impetus that like got me started into all of this to really pursue it like wholeheartedly. Because before it's just like, this is kind of fun. Like I did do a play in undergrad, which was so challenging because I was also the senior year of my chemical engineering degree, and so I'm like trying to do my senior projects and be in a main character in this play.
but you wanted it.
But yeah, so like that's what I was saying like earlier, like how like I think I always wanted this, just never really found my place in it up until this audition where it was like, maybe I can do this.
Mhm.
And then when I came back here to Buffalo, I already like knew where to look and just got a bunch of student films, got my reel together, and then started connecting with the indie artists here.
And then we met.
And then we met.
Yeah. And I thought you were somebody you weren't.
You were perfectly convinced that I was lying to you.
Yes, I was. And you looked at me like, you're an idiot. I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I mean, if the shoe fits, I'm over here putting the foot in the mouth thing. But I give you a lot of props for that, going to school and
Mhm.
pursuing that type of work while still pursuing what you love, which is acting and taking on a lead role or whatever the scale of the role was,
Yeah.
majority that you had to be there. So I'm curious to know, are you right now doing anything in the Buffalo zeitgeist? Is there a film you're working on currently?
I actually do have a micro short that I will be filming at the end of this month.
Are you directing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, producing, directing, all.
Oh,
All
you're
the
doing
hats.
everything.
Well, no, I'm not acting in it.
Oh, the one thing, right? Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is actually the fourth micro short that I'm doing because I had this crazy idea where I was like, okay, well, if I just get this one location and a group of all my filmmaking friends and we just utilize the 8 hours that I have this location to create as much as possible. And I had written 4 micro short scripts, so like they're like less than 5 minutes. And in that day, we did manage to get 3 of them done, and they're
Wow.
edited. And
How long are they?
they're all less than 5 minutes.
Oh, they are less than 5? Yeah.
They're short.
Yeah.
But like, unfortunately, I don't know. The one actress for my fourth script got sick, and we weren't able to film that day. But that script was 4 pages, where all the other scripts were 2 pages, and we didn't really even have time to do the other 3.
Yeah.
So now I actually get to like do this one properly, really give it like the time it deserves, and like take all my lessons.
How much
learned.
time are you thinking you're gonna make this one? Is it gonna be longer than the 5 minutes? Do you think?
Oh no, it's still gonna be about like a 5-minute film.
Yeah.
It's just as far as like film day, we can actually fully focus on this, get all the B-roll that we didn't get with those other shorts, like add in those like extra bits that like polish a film, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I don't know.
Well, I've seen you on a lot of the red carpets as of this past year, so I'm curious to see where you're gonna be next year with. Like, have you done a lot of work through the past year? Like, that's going to be coming out next year, too?
Oh, well, like I just mentioned, I have those 3 that I have
Yep.
submitted to both Valkyrie and Lamberson's Festival.
Valkyrie, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like, actually, unfortunately, the one film that I directed is the Gino D'Amaro wrote, and that had already had its Buffalo premiere, but it just got accepted into this film festival in New Jersey. It's happening, I think, next month.
Mm.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't time. I completely have lost track of time. But regardless, when that film festival is happening, I'm not gonna be available. So I'm just like, I've been wanting to try to get to this one, because they have like these cute little spaceship like alien awards. They're like, because it's a sci-fi festival, so they have like cute little alien trophies. And I'm just like, I really want to go to that one.
And now you're doing the Buffalo 48 this year?
I actually am gonna be out of town for the Buffalo 48.
No!
Yeah, and on top of that, the Valkyrie International Film Festival got moved to the same weekend as the Buffalo 48.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate timing.
Yeah, yeah. Building like a project from the ground up, like where do you first start? There's something that has to inspire you, I would assume.
Mm.
What is something that starts that inspiration, gets the creative juices going, and makes you want to like create?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like take inspiration from everywhere. Might it be just like a conversation or something about a person that was like, ooh, I think they would be really good like if I did this with them, or maybe just like something that just kind of like sits in the back of my brain. I'm just like, there's something there, and then I just kind of build off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I probably could credit a lot of my creativity to my mom. Like, I feel like growing up, she kind of would make everything of an adventure. Mm-hmm. Like, laundry would become an adventure because, we're gonna match the socks together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like just kind of finding the fun or whimsical and some things that might otherwise be mundane is kind of part of where my creativity comes from.
What do you think in your time has been the most vulnerable type of role that you've played?
Ooh, probably more recent roles I played. But no, honestly, I mean, just because of the subject matter, and it's currently in post-production, like it's still being edited, but I did play a role where there was a miscarriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it definitely, yeah, it was very a very very vulnerable piece because you have to like go through those emotions and everything. And
Did you do research on it?
yeah, no, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. And also, also in that film, I
Oh,
then proceed to commit suicide because
wow.
after that, it's just like, okay, well, I can't do this anymore. I spent a lot of time preparing for that. I actually worked with an acting coach. It was like this, like I need to do this right. Like there's a lot.
Well,
That
there's a
goes into
place that you have to
yeah.
go. It's a dark place, I feel like. Oh, and I was just talking to somebody recently about being able to cry on camera.
Mhm.
It's taken me many years to be able to do it, but I always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Now that I've done it, it's like I don't ever want to do that again. But have you ever had an experience like that where you're like, I don't want to cry on camera, or do you think you can cry on camera?
It's definitely been a little bit of a challenge. I don't know. I have to cry on camera a lot. I don't know. I end up getting a lot of roles. They're like, can you cry? I was like, yeah, give me like a few minutes to figure that out. So it's definitely been a skill I've been working on. I'm not quite at the like cry command type of thing.
Do you have
like,
any recommendations on how to like
well,
try to get one? Like,
okay. Well, so there's like a couple of components to it. And I think like one of the easiest ways to get in is just to feel in your body. So if you can really like kind of like have that sensation of like what it feels like when you do cry and then connecting it to the emotion. I've heard people like use kind of like little objects that like sometimes will kind of have them help them feel those feelings.
yeah.
Personally, I like kind of connecting into the character itself. I'm like, okay, why is my character feeling this way to that they need to release these emotions? Like what is happening in their head? And then so having that physical connection with my character emotions and just bringing that together, that's been helping me.
When you're not doing creative things, because nowadays art is expression, right? So what would be something that Joe O'Donnell likes as a hobby or something?
Yeah, I do social dancing, so I'll go swing dancing. I've done a little bit of salsa. I like to bake, as still kind of in the creative realm. And I recently got into crocheting. I was really excited because this has oddly been a goal of mine to be able to crochet. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. I do acrobatic yoga, so like I'm still do a lot of like athletics. That's still something that I enjoy doing. Getting back into working out at the gym, so lifting weights.
Yeah.
I do.
You do a lot of things.
Yeah, I do.
You're always,
stuff.
and every time I've met you or seen you, you always had like high energy, which is really great. Because you meet a lot of people that get born, like they get this industry drains them, and then to see somebody with so much full of life and energy and like and vigor to bring something to life. What's your favorite genre to work in? Do you have one?
I definitely tend towards like this dramedy type of sense. So like real things are happening, but like having some comedy aspect to it. So yeah, I would say that's my favorite, or like that's my favorite to write about. My favorite to like act in. I love horror. I really do. I love horror. I would love to do more fantasy, but I know that's difficult at the indie level.
In general.
Like yes, fantasy, sci-fi. I would love to do something of that sort.
Yeah. Now, has there anybody like in the local scene that you've really wanted to work with as like a counterpart in acting or anything like that? Like you think sharing the screen would be something really like a magical thing?
Yeah, there's so many people that I admire in this community. I have to give a shout out to Erica because
Erica Fraze.
Yeah, Erica Fraze.
Yeah, she's mentioned quite often on this show. yeah.
Yeah,
she's good people.
She is. That's the biggest thing too. Like it's one thing to be like a good actor, but like to also like be a good person.
Yeah, and that's very hard to find, especially like in the film industry. I won't get into the dark side of it, but there's a dark side to the industry. I want to go to my favorite part of this whole entire like little show that we do. It's called the Fast Five.
Oh no.
Yes. Oh yes. And it's 5 questions that I have. That's like the first thing that comes to your mind. First thing that comes to mind. We'll just we'll go into it if you're ready.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. First one is most toxic part of film industry.
Honestly, I'm gonna say that it's just the fact that everyone wants credit.
A role you turned down and regret.
Ooh, turn down and regret. This I auditioned for this kind of like experimental dance piece, because I also do that.
Describe rejection in the industry.
It's just part of it.
Biggest lie actors are told.
There's so many.
You're gonna get paid.
No one's told that.
Never.
No, we don't get paid.
We pay this on. You get paid on deferment. That's how it is. Well, this is the last one. Okay. One word you would describe your breaking point. This is on set, by the way. Like, where does Joe O'Donnell go from happy to, all right, now it's time to kick some ass?
I've been very fortunate to have been able to not be in any of those sets. And there's been a couple of roles that I have auditioned for, and then I just was reading a script. I was kind of like getting the person's vibes. And I'm just like, you know what? This isn't for me.
No.
And unfortunately for the people that have got cast in those things, I was right. And I feel terrible that they had to go through this.
This is the dark side of the industry we're getting into.
No,
again.
honestly, the worst part is that these people also have funding.
Yeah.
And like when you're a working actor, like you're gonna take those jobs because you need the money. And I'm so fortunate that I have a job that can fund me, that I don't have to take these jobs. I can like read the writing on the wall and say like, okay, no, I don't like where this is going. I don't like what's in the script. I don't like how this person is talking. There's not enough organization to me to feel like this is actually going to be worth my time. Yeah.
Well, the organization thing, I'm just going to say this real quick because I think that is one thing that scares a lot of new actors.
Sure.
The organization is always...
And I've had sets. I've been on sets where it's just like, okay, we're just gonna sit around and wait for a few hours. It happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know like people get upset about it, but unfortunately that is how it is sometimes. Like it's something I'm still learning as a director, as a producer. It's like, how can I make sure that my actors aren't sitting around for hours when like I could just give them a later call time.
Well, I tell you what, it took me many years and many films to learn that skill. Yeah. A lot of people sit around for a long time. Yep. But I will tell you, as I've gotten older, I've gotten a little smarter and realized that I don't like to be out for 24 hours in a day, you know? I like to go home within a day after the job is done. So I've figured it, but it took me many years, and I don't envy, I'll say, that experience or having to go through that again because it's not one of my favorite things. Yeah. And just as a follow-up, I'm curious, what would you tell somebody to how to handle that first moment, like the first rejection? Because I'm sure the first rejection hurt the most. First rejection for me hurt the most.
Well, it's a step. That's what it is. You taking a step towards the direction that you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key, I think, is don't take it personal.
I know. I think it's okay. It's just I think the thing is to not dwell in it.
There's also that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to plug my first film because I'm gonna finally release it to the world. My firstborn, my child, the little ugly baby that I don't want to share with people, but I should because it's a good story.
Yeah. It happens to us all. I acted in my first one.
Well, yeah, that's what
Good luck finding it.
Well, no, because I do want to share because it was the Valkyrie International Film Festival that first even inspired me to want to write anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so after like seeing these amazing women and the amazing films that they create and their stories, I was like, I want to do that. Next year, I want to be up there and answering questions for a film that I made. And I was. And now I am planning on releasing that film, so definitely follow me on Instagram to see when I do that.
What's the name of it?
So it's Reimage. It is like one does win a computer, you reimage it, you start with a blank slate and restart from there. So the lead character, myself, decides to kind of leave the life that she knows and pursue something that actually brings her joy.
Yeah, so. And does it? Or are we not allowed to know?
Well, you know, I kind of...
You have to wait and see it?
It's a bit of a cliffhanger. And just like, she's on that path, but it's like it doesn't... It's a short film, so like, you don't really get to like see it, but you know, maybe I'll turn into a feature sometime.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Well, the next time we sit together and we have another little sit down like this, I want to know what action movie you've done or science fiction movie you've been in, because at that point you'll have be a big enough star in this
Yes,
area.
absolutely.
I see you everywhere. I'm so happy for you, and I'm proud to know you, and I'm rooting for you. Just know that. And I want to say thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. And this was actually like the first year that I was back in Buffalo, and I had just gotten I was starting my full-time job, and the rehearsals were every day starting at 4, and I'm like, oh, my work day goes till 5, and like I could have adjusted my work schedule. I could have made it work, but I was just like, oh, I'm a new hire, like I don't want to like rock the boat or anything, but like, oh, it's so hard to get in torn space.
Yeah.
And the shows that they do are incredible. And also, that was like proper paid work too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you passed that up?
Because I just started my new job.
You had to make a choice.
Yeah.
It was like, I want to be an artist, but I got to pay the bills too.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a hard choice.